Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be doing a market overview, right? We might dive into some of the coins we'd like to talk about on this channel for a brief moment. But generally speaking, we are going to be seeing and looking at the market, like, Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance, total market cap, just to see what the market is generally doing, right? How the weekly candles have closed and what does that mean? So we're going to start off with Bitcoin right away, ladies and gentlemen, right? If we go on to the weekly, we could actually see it was a very, very nice weekly candle, right? This type of candle most of the time indicates that there was a good amount of selling pressure, but also a good amount of buying pressure. And generally speaking, for the most part, we kind of met in the middle. So the reason why I say this is because when we go on the candle closes, we technically open the week at $97,645, right? And by the end of the week, we closed at 96,500. And let's just say $505, right? Just for simplicity's sake. So we can see, right, that we started up here, but we only closed here. But when we add back the wicks, we can see we got rejections from both sides, right? When there was buying pressure, it got rejected. When there was selling pressure, it got rejected and went back up. Okay. So we can see that is a good sign. In this context, that would generally mean that I believe there is going to be a reversal to the upside, right? We see on the daily candles that it barely has moved the last few days. I mean, that any type of real volume there was last Tuesday, right? Monday was the big dip and recovery, and then Tuesday was a little bit sell-off pressure. Wednesday was even lower sell-off pressure, and then after that, we were kind of going sideways until the weekly candle closed, right? So not much has happened. However, this is technically forming some type of support, right? We are losing pressure in terms of selling pressure, but we're also not getting too much buying pressure. However, like I said, this is creating some type of support. Since I am a sniper and I trade a certain way, I am looking for those big pullbacks. So, I'm still looking for roughly this type of pullback where we go to 93 to $92,000, right? It doesn't have to happen, right? The my philosophy in trading, my style, it depends on, pretty big pullbacks because I love catching, a nice pullback, getting in, and then it just reverses, and then your mental feels so good, especially for trading, right? For trading, that's really, really important. I don't really like to just get in at a good or solid price and then see my account be up at one point, then down and up and down. I rather just play for pullbacks, which means you have to be more precise. So, what I believe is going to happen, generally speaking, at this current moment, is that we will pull all the way back up to roughly, let's just say 99,000. And from there, I believe that's where we will sell off before we will continue pushing up, right? The reason why I say this is because when we go on the 4-hour candle, we can see that there's a big rejection off there. But when we go on the hourly, there is a nice order block candle over here that has also gone into this candle here, right? This candle at 100,000, we entered, like this, the triple tap that I always talk about, right? So I believe, that we could have another tap where we kind of do create a triple tap scenario to sell off lower, right? That is what I'm looking to be playing for. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to happen, but we will adapt if it doesn't, right? For me, like I said, personally still waiting for like a big, 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 pullback. It could just be during news where it sells off very quickly and recovers very quickly. If we do see that type of scenario, then I will be very, very happy, right? A quick dump, but a quicker recovery means usually very, very nice bullish price action, right? Not only that, but if we go and look at the Bitcoin chart, we can see that generally speaking, we would also be looking to eventually break out of this zone. And once we kind of do, we will just continue pushing up before we probably get a little bit of selling pressure back when we're in this zone of 104,000 to 106,000, right? That's when we might get a little bit of selling pressure before we continue going up. I generally do believe that, the mid to end of February will be very, very bullish, right? Some people think the markets are done for. I have no reason to believe that. Would I want prices to be higher? For example, like let's just say, we'll just use ICP as an example, right? Would I have wanted ICP already like at 20 or 30 bucks, with Bitcoin being at 97K and then still knowing Bitcoin's going to go further and, altcoin season is going to happen and we're going to get a bigger pump? Of course, right? Of course, like, I hold a lot of Render. I hold a decent amount of Turbo. I hold a lot of Ondo and some other coins. And, obviously, I would have liked to have been already, have recovered, have Bitcoin been at 97,000 with a good Bitcoin dominance, and then, continue pushing up because then that means we would have had insane pumps, right? We would have had very, very insane pumps, which I still believe could happen, right? We could be seeing rallies that we do not expect. Something like Render, for example, could be moving a couple dollars a day to the upside once we start expanding for an average of say 4 weeks, kind of the way XRP went. Anyways, like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, right? XRP, for example, right? When we take XRP, we look, right? We all would have loved this type of pump where we go from, let's just say, 50 cents to, upwards of $3.35, get a pump of 525% profit, so 6.25 times, right? We all would have loved to see our coins chilling up super super high right now, whether it is turbo or anything, right? And a lot of you guys are turbo holders, so like it would have been so nice if Bitcoin is at 97K and we would have been chilling somewhere here or even higher, right? While still having this Bitcoin dominance. But the thing is, right, we have to realize that number one, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing: we are still retesting off of the all-time highs in terms of total market cap. And I truly do believe once we get past this point, start flying, everything will start balancing out and everything will come back to normal. Okay. You have to realize in terms of market cap, we are down billions, right? We are down almost, half a trillion. So that is a lot, right? That is a lot because even one of our coins, like Turbo, just getting a couple 100 million more market cap, for example, that is just a small piece of the pie out of half a trillion. So, and that's just for it to recover, right? And we're not even talking about getting up to these levels of 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 trillion market cap, and then also experiencing altcoin season where Bitcoin bleeds and altcoins pump even harder, right? So, like for me, um, everything is still lining up. Everything's still good. The only thing I can see is maybe our times are a little bit different. Maybe the first pump will be in fall instead of like not early spring. But we'll still see. We'll still see. Remember, a lot of things can change, especially once we start pumping, a lot of things can change very, very quickly. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the recap overall. Things are looking fantastic, if I do say so myself, right? Candles are very similar with Bitcoin and total market cap. I do expect some kind of, swing recovery over the next couple days and weeks. And I do expect expansions soon. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Because you enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.